and wanted to take it to her preacher. Our seventh letter comes from a pastor in St. Louis, Missouri, who says, B.E. arrived today, and I read the whole issue. Very interesting and very good. I'm a retired Lutheran minister. It seems to me you have done a lot of good. Glad you like dialogue and debate, but the fundamentalists, he calls them fundamentalists, are pushovers. I mean, from our point of view. You've had a lot of fun, but isn't it time for you to graduate to a more meaningful stage of your ministry? I'm referring only to your periodical. I've never heard you on radio or television, but I'd like to. Whom are you reaching with your periodical? The already converted? Are you helping them gloat about mistakes in the Bible? I like fun too, but it's time for us to grow up and be for something. Being an iconoclast is not enough. When you take away someone's security blanket, you should at the same time offer them something better. You have made your point over and over. Why ride it to death? Unquote. In reply, I said, several of your statements are wide of the mark and deserve comment. First, I would not use the word fundamentalists because it's not only an unproductive pejorative, but tends to minimize and make light of a very serious and formidable opponent that dominates the White House. This was written back in the Reagan era. As far as being a pushover is concerned, even I wouldn't say that. How often have you engaged spokesmen for the inerrant position? While playing chess, tennis, and basketball years ago, I learned to never underestimate my opponent. Second, there are tens of millions of people who have never been reached by the kind of message conveyed in B.E. You talk as if the battle is over when it's barely begun. One preacher alone, Pat Robertson, has a larger budget, more adherents, and greater access to the media than any humanist organization in the United States. If they're such pushovers, then I'd say we've either been pushing in the wrong direction or hardly at all. Third, BE exists to provide a tremendous amount of crucial information to millions of people being kept in the dark. The need is real and the stakes are high. Enjoyment, enhanced self-worth, and a sense of accomplishment undoubtedly exist, but they are secondary to my primary motive. Fun is hardly the right word when so much time, effort, and study are involved. Fourth, I don't feel a need to graduate to a more meaningful stage because I'm already there. When people want me to move from what they erroneously view as an excessive concentration on fundamentalism, I'm not sure what they have in mind. If it's to a broader focus on liberalism in particular and Christianity in general, I can't think of a better way to dissipate one's efforts. Critiquing religious liberalism is like boxing jello in a kaleidoscopic room. Positions are constantly changing on a spectrum that's continually widening. As people leave the Bible in general, and inerrancy in particular, they expand outward like spokes on a wheel. From New Agers and the occult to Unitarianism and Universalism, the number of views is tremendous. Unless I'm dealing with a body of people with a common set of ideas, I'd have to search each person's individual beliefs in order to adequately expose their shortcomings. Some liberal denominations do have a common set of beliefs, but none of these organizations is as large and as powerful as fundamentalism in general. What would you have me move up to? Could you describe the more meaningful stage to which I should advance? Fifth, ministry is not an appropriate term to describe our efforts. An assertive educational program is much more appropriate. 6. Whom am I trying to reach? Anybody who will listen, because nearly everyone accepts some biblically instilled inaccuracies. Whom am I reaching? Our subscribers cover the entire spectrum from fundamentalists to atheists. The already converted, as you call them, are by no means our only subscribers and readers. 7th, helping people cope rather than gloat is our purpose. Enabling people to accurately assess the most influential book in America is the reason for BE's existence. 8th, we definitely are for something. Anytime you expose contradictions, inaccuracies, and errors in a widely believed piece of literature, you are not only for, but actively promoting logic, reason, and truth. That's the something better we are offering. As I said in my speech at the American Rationalist Convention several years ago, you must first show people what is wrong with what they have before they're going to open their minds to something else. 9th, the word iconoclast or destroyer of icons is inappropriate because it stresses only the negative side of BE. When men tear down a building to erect a newer structure or bulldoze a plot of ground for future construction, are they being positive or negative? Are they acting positively or negatively? Are they iconoclast for not leaving the older structure intact or leaving the terrain alone? If so, how do you propose the new be built? Was George Washington an iconoclast? Remember, he did destroy the old order. And lastly, nothing has been written to death. Our publication has been systematically exposing all the known problems associated with nearly every major issue in the Bible.